Welcome to the Machine Communication System. In this video, we'll be reviewing the Machine Detail page along with the Admin Reconcile page. This page is great for the manager who needs to dive into the specific performance data of a single machine and differs from the reports in the fact that here we can compare our interval data to the raw recorded data. As a bit of review, in order to make the data easier to read, we've divided each day into 288 5-minute intervals, where each interval receives a value, which is the weighted average of the data observed during that time. Now, here's an example. Say you had a machine run at 100% feed rate for 4 minutes and was out of cycle for 1 minute in a 5-minute interval. That interval value would be 80% because it's a weighted average. Think of it as being like the trend lines when evaluating stock prices. This makes the data easy to read, but in some instances, we may need to know exactly when certain events are happening. This Machine Details page is where that comes together. So as you can see across the top here, we have two nearly identical charts. The one on the left is interval data, and the one on the right is the raw data. Now, when we come in here and we zoom or we click and drag, what we're going to see is we're going to see not only does the chart on the right and left synchronize, but we're also going to see that the data down here below is going to follow. So this data is always going to reflect exactly what's shown up here above. So what we can do is say we're going to zoom up here a little bit tighter, and we can see right here, this is where our interval data is kind of giving us that rolling average, whereas if we come over here, we can see the exact time to the minute that we went out of cycle and in cycle. So that's a good example of the raw data as recorded here versus the interval data. Now down here on the left, we can see that we have the total time of these charts is being shown right here. So you can see if I scroll in and out, that's going to move. And so we have our total time as well as our out of cycle, in cycle, and earned time. We can also see that we have a list of live events, which is very nice to have there as well. Here in the middle, we have our live gauge chart, which shows us that the machine is in cycle and at 100%. And we also have information here like our total average and our in-cycle average, which are represented by these bars right here. And we also have this nice little graph bar here. On the left, we show interval count by feed rate from the charts above. And on the right, we show the downtime occurrences by length. And so ideally, the columns here in the middle should be the highest ones because we want the most intervals in a high feed rate capacity, and we want most of our downtimes to be as short as possible. So if it's anything other than tall in the middle, we're going to need to tweak your process, and that'll make you more money. So now let's go ahead and navigate to the Reconcile page. And this is the Admin Reconcile page, and it differs from the reconciliation that's done on the operator page because we're not limited to a 24-hour period. We can select single intervals, we can select entire lines, we can select all empty cells, or we can select all and do some overwriting. We can also select multiple days. Say you had a machine that was turned off and you need mass reconciliation. Well, you don't need to be clicking around all over the place. We can just do it in one swoop. Once again, we have all of our interrupts here, which are user definable, so it will perfectly fit with your process needs. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please contact your NCSS representative and ask about our free on-site test drive program. Thanks.